All right, here we are, quarter two, week one, day three. Jada has 7/8 cup of cheese. Her cheese bread recipe calls for a 1/6 cup of the cheese. All right, so we're going to have 7/8 is how much we have. And we're going to divide it by how much is going to have to go into each one, right? So 1/6 going into 7/8. Well, here we go again with our keep it, change, and flip it. So we're going to keep the 7/8. We're going to change this division sign to a multiplication sign. And we are going to do the inverse of 1/6, which is 6/1. Okay, can't really do anything as far as cross reducing across this way. But we can divide 8 and 6 by 2. So we'll divide 2 into 8 and get 4. We'll divide 2 into 6 and get 3. So that'll save us some reducing later, or some simplifying. So 7 times 3 is 21. And 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, so how many times will 4 go into 21? Well, it'll go into it 5 times. 5 times 4 is 21. Or is 20 actually. So we're going to go into it 5 times. And again, 5 times 4 is 20. We have a little bit left over, so it's going to be 5 1/4 is how much we have in this one. But let's see what they're asking. How many times can she make her recipe with the cheese she has? Well, the answer would simply be 5. Okay, so 5 times. Okay, because she has a little bit more cheese left over, but it's only 1/4. So she can make it 5 times. That's how many times she can make her recipe. Okay, so we have a situation where we need to find the quotient again. So we're going to divide 99 into 9,801. Well, 99 doesn't go into just 9, and it doesn't go into 98. So we're going to have to divide it into 980. Well, it's going to be pretty close to, well, 99 is close to 100. So 9 100ths will get you to close to 980. So this is going to have to be a 9, right? So 9 times 9 is 81. And then 9 times 9 is 81, plus 8 more is 89. All right, so then we're going to subtract that. Well, we're going to have to borrow from the 8 and get a 7. This will be 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. We can't take 9 away from 7, so we're going to have to borrow from there. So this is 17. Okay, so 17 minus 9 is going to be 8. So we have 89. And then we're going to bring down the 1. And 891 is our answer. Well, if we look right here, 891 was what we got when we put the 9 on the top. So, of course, this is going to have to be a 9. 9 times 99 is 891. And that leaves us with 0. Okay, so our answer for this one is 99. All right, so now we are going to find the sum, which means we're going to add these up, and we have to line up the decimals. All right, so let's do the 795. We'll put those right there. 0.45. All right, and which means this is going to have to be a 0 here. We're going to get rid of all this, and then we're going to add these up. All right, so 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 4 is 13. Basically, 3 and 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And then we have a 3 and a 3. Okay, we'll bring down the decimal right here. We'll move over 3 places, put our comma. Our answer is 33,913.35. And there's our answer. All right, what is the greatest common factor of 56 and 21? So we have 56. We have 21. The factors of 56 are 1 times 56. 2 times 28 will give you 56. 3 doesn't. How about 4? 4 times 14 gives you 56. And 7 times 8 gives you 56. Let's look at 21. We have 1 times 21. And we have 2 doesn't go into it. 3 times 7. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's all there is. So what is the greatest common factor of 56 and 21? Well, it looks like the biggest number that is in both of these is the number 7. The greatest common factor is 7. All right, we are now going to find the missing number of each unit rate. Well, let's see if they're both unit rates. This one looks like it's going to be because there is a 1 over on this side. So we'll see. All right, so last time they said unit rates, it was just rates. So we'll see if that's actually the case. So let's look at this first one. To get from 8 down to 1, we have to divide by 8. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. Okay, so the missing number for this one is 4. All right, so now on this one, we have both denominators. So that's the one we're going to compare. So what does it take to get from 28 down to 4? Well, it's 28 divided by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4, so you have to do the same thing to the top. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So the missing number for this one is 3. So again, I guess it's not unit rates, it's just rates. Find the missing number of each rate. So there we go. For this one it's 4. For this one it's 3. If 2 pounds of strawberries cost $4.50, how much would 3 pounds cost? So we can't just double $4.50 because that would be 4 pounds. We don't want 4 pounds. We want the cost for 3 pounds. All right, so we're going to have to scale down. So how much is it for 1 pound? Well, if 2 pounds is $4.50, I know that half of $4.50 is $2.25. Okay, so basically 1 pound, or 1 lbs, 1 pounds is equal to $2.25. Okay, so if I want to get to what it costs for 3 pounds, so to go from 1 to 3 pounds, we basically multiply by 3. So to 1 to 3 pounds, it is times 3. So what would we have to do with $2.25? We'd have to multiply that by 3. And if we did, 3 times 2 is 6. And then 3 25s would be 75. So for 3 pounds, it would cost us $6.75. That's how you would find that. What is 62% of 25? All right. Guys, so this is what you're going to do anytime you're trying to find the percent of a number. 62% is 62 over 100, okay, which is also 0.62. So 62%, 62 over 100, and 0.62 are all the same thing written 3 different ways. Okay, this is it as a percent. This is it as a fraction, and this is it as a decimal. All right, so really the easiest way to do this, and again, going to be really easy when you're using a calculator more often, but 62%, just turn it into a decimal by moving the decimal over 2 places, and then taking that 0.62 times 25. Okay, and you can do it out longhand where you change the 0.62 and do it all that way. But if you just do 0.62 times 25, that is going to give you 15.5. So the answer to what is 62% of 25 would be 15.5. And again, all you really have to do is change the percent into a decimal and multiply it by 25. How many grams are in 8 kilograms? Well, if you don't know this, 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. So if we want to know how many grams are in 8 kilograms, we want to get from 1 kilogram to 8 kilograms. Okay, so what are we going to do with that? We're going to multiply it by 8. So you're going to have to do the same thing down here. 1,000 times 8 is 8,000. Okay, so the answer to that is, how many grams are in 8 kilograms? Well, 8 kilograms means there are 8,000 grams. So it's the same amount, just in 2 different measurements. 8 kilograms and 8,000 grams. Okay, we are going to evaluate the expression. So this looks like it's going to be a fun one. So we have 8 plus 1/5 inside parentheses. Well, 8 and 1/5, 8 plus 1/5 is 8 and 1/5. So that's not too bad. Okay, and I'm just going to convert this real quick just in case we need it this way, because I have a feeling we might. 8 and 1/5, to convert that into a fraction, we're going to do 8 times 5, which is 40, plus 1, which is 41. So this is actually the same as 41 over 5. Okay, so let's see what we need, because we might use it as 8 and 1/5, or we might use it as 41 over 5. Well, the next thing in PEMDAS is parentheses, then exponents. All right, well, 6 to the 3rd power, which means we are doing 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and then 36 times 6 is 216. Okay, so we're done with this. All right, so now we are left with 216 plus 5, and then basically times, I'm going to go ahead and make it the 41 over 5, because I think that's going to be the best way to do this. All right, so we've done the exponents, so we're done with all of this. We've done the parentheses, so we're done with all of that. So now we're down to addition and multiplication. So it looks like the next thing we're going to have to do is multiply these two numbers, right? 5 and 41 over 5. So let's kind of rewrite that. We're going to have 5 over 1 times 41 over 5. You guys remember, we can cross reduce. Okay, there's nothing we could do with the 1 and 41, but we can do something with the 5s. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 5 once. So 1 times 41 is 41. And 1 times 1 is 1. So basically all of this ends up just being the number 41. Okay, so what are we left with now? So we did all of this, and now we're just left with 216 plus 41. Okay, so to get our final answer on this, we have 216 plus 41, and that's going to give us 257. Okay, and if you wanted to, you can put 216 plus 41. Work it out. So that'd be 7, 5, 2. So you can see that it is 257. 257 is our answer when doing the order of operations with this particular set of numbers, fractions, and so on. So there we go. 257 is our answer.